So it's been a while since I made this Jupiter soap. I liked how the first one turned out, but that was many years ago. And I imagined that the planet Jupiter smelled like grapefruit. That's how that all started. So kind of arbitrary. So I already blended up my kaolin clay, sodium lactate and oils, a little water. But I think I'll mix it up again. And I'm soaking at about 80 degrees. I'm going to bring this to emulsification. I found this sort of destroyed spatula years ago. It was like this, but it's perfect for scraping sideways like this. This room smells just like grapefruit. Get the fragrance in there. And we're ready to pour the colors already. I think I'll fill these little cups first. And I think I'll use this so I don't spill it everywhere. That's a green mixed with nothing. Actually, this is the green that's mixed with some black oxide. It's going to be my darkest color. I made this orange extra strong because it tends to fade. I found that this orange plus a little red makes that nice ruby red grapefruit color. And we're ready to pour because I'm going to blend my little cups of color last, so it doesn't thicken up too much. Okay, so let's make some room here. Okay, I'm going to start off with this red. It's going to be a swirling, what do you call that? I'm going to spin it around, that's what I'm going to do. It's still a little bit watery. I might blend these two colors a little bit more. Spin swirl is what I was trying to think of. And I'd like to get that color just about everywhere because when you do that spin, you tend to lose some of that color in some places. Okay, by the red. Get this poured close to the surface. So I want it close to the surface so it doesn't sink in where you can't see it. Some right near there. And take my frother to get these nice accent colors up on top. Okay, now we're ready to spin this. And get some color into those areas that haven't swirled too much. And also this is time for some of my gold drizzle. I'll put that in places where it needs a little bit of interest. Okay, I think I'm going to mix up a little bit more gold. I like to have the drizzle at about a kind of creamy consistency. I love the texture as this soap saponifies. I like it to have those little craters, especially if it's a planet themed soap. It's because the soap is continuing to saponify and it's kind of thirsty for oil, so it kind of sucks in the oil of this mica drizzle. Okay. I better get the dividers in. I have a little bit more of this turquoise green, so I can get that almost like a mica drizzle drop down in some of those areas. There's a lot going on that planet, so can't go wrong. And also, you know, if you've ever done a spin swirl, some of the areas always get a little muddy, so it's good to put some pure color wherever it needs it. Okay, so let's clean this up, put it to bed, and bring you back for the cut. Oh, first I'm going to put some glitter though. Just a wee bit. And I'm going to cover this over to gel and bring you back for the cut. Okay, so time to unmold these. And it heated up really nicely, so I know that these gelled. And that heating up process really contributes to brighter colors and a harder soap, so technically you don't have to let them cure as long, but I still let it cure because it still gets rid of extra moisture and just makes a better bar, longer lasting bar, and it also makes it easier to unmold, so you just kind of pulled out. If I can turn this over. And I have no really steadfast rule to pull these out of the mold, just whatever slips out nicely. And I really like the way that the gold drizzle indents itself into the bar. So basically, I just look for bars that are easier to pull out. So imagine this is the surface of Jupiter with all the turbulence there. Just kind of wanted a softer looking bar with some contrast, but not going overboard. And something that would suit the grapefruit scent as well. So there's that pink grapefruit color. Now as I get into this mold, I can just gently push up from beneath the bar. See the side? That really does look like Jupiter, doesn't it? There's part of the eye. So at this point, usually I can start pulling out some of the dividers, and that makes it easier to get to the interior bars. My artistic mind really looks for more color, but it's not really practical to really work for all those colors that I see in my head. So then I have to kind of cut back to the essential colors that I feel that the bar really needs. And so I think these 4 or 5 colors are really enough to convey the idea that I was thinking in my head. There's other tricks that you can play too, which I have done in this. And while it's difficult to manage mixing up so many soap batter colors, because we don't want the batter to start getting too thick and hard before the pour, you can also select 1 or 2 different mica drizzle colors to add on to the colors. For example, the gold in this was a drizzle, and at the same time gold comes across more as a metallic gold when it's in the form of a mica drizzle as opposed to mixed with the batter. And I love the smell of this grapefruit fragrance. I got mine from Nature's Garden. It just really does smell like a nice, fresh, juicy, pink grapefruit. Now, if I didn't go back with my scrapings, this would be a bunch of yellow and not as interesting to look at. So some of these globs of turquoise and red were glopped on after the main pour. I think this is one of my favorite bars right here. So much going on there. And just the natural design. It's so interesting, this medium of soap making, where you really have to rely on some of your artistic senses, but you also have to rely on the randomness of the pour. The things that we have control of are the color choices, how thick that we get our soap batter before we make the pour, what colors will be used in the batter as opposed to the mica drizzles, how we combine the batters before we pour it. But then at the last moment when you pour, it is a lot of random design that occurs, and I'm always impressed with the whole batch that looks really busy after you pour it, but then these dividers break these up into mini compositions that almost always look like they were planned out. And by planned out I mean there's a design sense to it. Abstract as it is. Alright, so I'm going to clean these up. I'll show you with one, and then I'll bring you back for the photos. So I just take my vegetable peeler and I go with one pass on the sharp edges. It just makes it more of a finished product. Completely optional, especially if you're doing a more natural type of soap. The rustic soaps, I don't think really absolutely need this, but it just really does feel better in the hand. Okay, so we'll clean these up and bring you back for the photos. And thanks for watching. And let's see, what else can I tell you? I'm trying to get back on the bandwagon and making some soap every week, and a video to go with it. Thanks for watching, and visit the Vibrant Soap webpage, and I'll put that right down below, and we'll see you later.